fork in the road. I left a full-time job. I felt I no longer had the creative freedom to do what I really wanted to do, which is to inspire others about nature and about a planetary ethos. So I had a burning desire to start my own company. We create experiences for travelers using raw materials that are in our backyard. The night sky, the national park, the people who live in our communities. We own no infrastructure. My goal is simple: transformation of our guests. We see profits, social and environmental benefits all tied together in terms of how we do things. As I take you through some principles and design criteria related to experiences, I'd like to do this from two perspectives. One is as a business and as a practitioner, sharing what I've learned over the last 16 years about crafting experiences. The second is as a traveler and getting you to think about what you'd like to see when you travel. I had three motivations for starting a new kind of travel company. First of all, I wasn't satisfied with the large sort of mass tourism formula, the approach that is often taken, and I felt there could be some alternatives for doing differently. We're surrounded in our community with a number of storytellers, but they don't have a stage in which to share their stories. And I wondered if we could do that differently. And I wanted to make a living doing this. So here's the definition of experiential travel. One of the limiting factors I had to face right away was that there was only one of me. So our business-to-business model involves about 30 other people who live in our regional community. We invite local experience providers, artists, teachers, producers, chefs, songwriters to create experiences from their life work, and we ask them a lot of questions. In the last 5 years as an industry trainer, I've been traveling across the country to Atlantic Canada, Northern Labrador, Ontario, and Alberta, helping those communities to unravel or uncover the stories and the unique experiences that are within their communities and their landscapes. Travelers are starting to realize that there's a better way to travel, more intimate, involving learning from local people, eating regional foods, and experiencing local traditions. They share those experiences far and wide through word of mouth and through word of mouse. The ordinary in our backyards is extraordinary when we see it through the lens of those people who are in our communities, people like the world's greatest escape artist, Dean Gunnarsson, or songwriting with Carrie Latimer, or perhaps preparing a meal with a chef, or going on a night snowshoe. We draw from the realms of nature, culture, art, and cuisine. We look for ordinary people who live in our communities, doing very ordinary things, and are willing to share their story by teaching others. We use open-ended questions to help them craft experiences. In this case, learning how to ice fish in Western Newfoundland. I've learned that anything can be chunked down into tiny little tidbits that can become a transformative experience. We've been working with partners in Dauphin for the last 5 years. They have a fabulous group experience in which travelers learn to make Easter breads, dance the polka, and have a Ukrainian meal. The results: proud babas, new revenues, and happy guests certified as honorary Dauphin Ukrainians. I look for contrast in the way that we create experiences, delivering an experience in a place and in a way that you wouldn't normally think of doing. This enhances the memorability and the intensity of the experience, like having a catered meal in a park picnic shelter. I work with my gut when I'm looking for new experiences to create. If something strikes me as being odd or interesting, I go with it. At a marine lab in Western Newfoundland, we're introduced to the export industry of sea urchins, how to harvest them, what sea urchin roe tastes like, their biology, and we're behind the scenes, by the way, at the aquarium. Sometimes the story is sitting right under our noses, and it's world-class. The story of Megan Emery, a Canadian Olympic biathlete, is now accessible as an experience here in Manitoba. You learn to shoot, you elevate your heart rate, you shoot again, and you learn the story from Megan's parents as coaches and storytellers, and you're on the biathlon range. When you find an experienced provider who really gets it, it's amazing. We started with a honey producer, learning about bees and honey on his farm, and one day, unexpectedly, he created a short experience for our group about his real passion, which is making cane-seated rocking chairs. I look for where passion and purpose collide. The owners of a new horse facility up where I live are passionate about horses, and they do the usual thing: horse rides, trail rides, horse instruction. But you can now go into the ring and learn horse reading from a trainer, communicating non-verbally with a horse. Unforgettable. Here's a short summary of what I've been learning about crafting experiences. Find a local expert, identify the time constraints, include activities that involve learning by learning, have fun, learning takes care of itself. About 2000, I came across a book in a bargain bin, The Experience Economy. Using great data and examples, it shows how we've been moving from a goods and services society to an experience economy. The best things in life are not things. In 4 years, my good friends out in PEI have created Experience PEI and have decided to sell their business and go full-time into an experiential travel company. The Canadian Tourism Commission has just created a new collection of experiences for Canada, and Travel Manitoba has just embarked on working with the industry to create a whole series of new experiences. This fall, we had a blogger from Australia. He took part in several experiences up at Riding Mountain, including a raku pottery experience. He wrote about it to 60,000 people on his blog, and he said, "Give them experiences rather than sites." Thank you very much.